Welcome to the Mat Yogis. Today's practice is a beginner's yoga practice. So grab your mat and let's begin. Cross your legs so your ankles are underneath your knees and place your hands on your knees. Now pull the flesh from the sitting bones out and lengthen the spine nice and long. Close the eyes. Let's begin by taking an inhale through the nose and purposely breathing out through the mouth. Now in our practice, we find an even flow of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. So place the tongue on the roof of the mouth and begin to inhale through the nose. Exhaling out through the nose. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. And exhaling. Try to watch the breath filling through the nose, down into the lungs and back up to the top, like water pouring into a glass. You can bring your hands into your heart space. We take the fingertips to touch, rest the thumbs on the breastbone, setting an intention for your practice today. May you stay in tune with your breath. May you stay connected to your practice. And may you invite peace and love into your body and mind. Take a breath in. Breathe out through the mouth and exhale. Let the eyes start to open. We'll come up onto the hands and knees into table position. As you come up onto table pose, untuck your toes so the tops of the feet are pressing down. Press them down into the ground and draw your belly in. Check your hands. Have your wrists underneath your shoulders and have a tiny little micro bend in your elbows. Start to reach the heart forwards as you arch your back into cow pose, lifting the sitting bones, and exhale from the tailbone, rounding the back into cat pose. Now go with your breath. Inhale, imagine as if you are moving from your tailbone, lifting the heart forwards, and as you exhale from the tailbone, round the back, chin to chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time, breathe in, breathe out. Come back to center. Tuck the toes under. We'll take downward facing dog. So start to lift off of your knees. Before you press your chest back, draw the belly in. Now move your chest back as far as you're able to here. Now start to straighten your legs, pressing your inner thighs back. Most likely you won't be able to straighten your legs, and that's okay. Press into the ball mounds of your feet, spread your toes, take a breath in through the nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Now go ahead and stay here for a few breaths. If at any point you find that it's hurting your wrists because this is new to you, then come down and come into child's pose position. Try to stay in the pose for 1 or 2 more breaths when you can, if you're not in excruciating pain. And then over time, you'll be able to stay in the poses longer. You can even come down to child's pose for 1 or 2 breaths and make your way back into downward facing dog. Let's come down onto the knees. Reach back for your right leg and bring your right foot forwards between your hands. So just help the leg get there. Make sure that it's right between your hands. You want to be sure that the ankle isn't behind your knee. So if it is, look, step it forwards, and you're good to go. Slowly take the hands to the hips and lift your chest upwards. We come into a low lunge with the back toes tucked under. This is going to help you take some pressure off of your knee. Your back knee is also behind your hip. So this is how we're going to stretch our thigh and open up the back muscles. So start to press down through the feet, but at the same time squeeze them together. Move the sitting bones down and lift the chest upwards. Pull the belly in. Maybe take the left arm up and overhead. Maybe take the right arm forwards and up. Exhale, let the arms come down to the sides. Inhale, come up out of the pose just a little bit. Exhale, descend back down. One more time. And exhaling down. Now reach the arms overhead, breathe in. And the hands will come down on the inside of the front foot. You can wiggle the front foot forwards towards the right corner of your mat. And then start to curl your right toes back, sending the sitting bones back. Again, your right leg is going to stay slightly bent. You can walk your hands forwards. Think of that downward facing dog position we just did. So getting a nice stretch into the hamstring. Feel your pelvis. Remember that position you felt when we did cow pose. Try to feel a little lift through the sits bones. Now you can walk your hands over to the left. I'm going to come into a gate pose here. So the right leg is still extended out. The hands come to the hips and you rise up. Bring the right arm now down the right leg. Avoid the knee, so go above or below it. Reach the left arm out to the left. Turn your palm to face up and reach the arm up and overhead and see how that is on your shoulder. If it's too much, maybe your shoulders are a bit tight, bring the left hand to the left shoulder. You can look down at your right leg, stretching the side of the body. Feel the ground beneath you here. Press down into the earth and reach up through that left elbow. Feel the spaces you're opening in the left side of the body. One more breath. And on the exhale, release the hand down to the hip. Inhale, bring the hands up to the hips. We're going to lower to the opposite side of the mat. So the hands will come behind you onto your mat, come back into your table pose. Give yourself a moment here to feel what's shifting in your body. Feel the spaces you're starting to open. Notice how one side might feel slightly different than the other. We give ourselves some time to pause and reflect. Go ahead and go up into downward dog once again. So lift the knees first, press the chest back, then begin to lift the sits bones, pressing your inner thighs back, letting the legs straighten a little more each time. Take a few breaths here. Push down and forwards through your hands and up and back through the sits bones. One more breath in. Remember, you can always do child's pose. Lower down onto the knees and the left foot comes forwards between the hands. So the left hand can reach back, help the leg forwards. Slowly rise, lift the hands onto the hips and find your foundation. So if you feel off balance, walk your left foot to the left so you have a wider stance. Over time, you can go a little more narrow. Bring the hands to the hips. Feel your tailbone, root it downwards. Back toes are tucked under. Start to press the feet down and together. And lift the right arm up. Lift the left arm up. Inhale, lift the hips a little bit. Exhale and descend the hips, still moving the belly away from the thigh. Inhaling and exhaling. One more cycle. Breathe in. Feel how you're moving with your breath and out. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, hands come down on the inside of the left foot. Walk your left toes towards the left corner of your mat. Curl your left toes back so you're on your heel. And then walk your hands forward similar to downward facing dog position. Bring the ears in line with the arms. a little bend in your left knee. Feel those areas that are tight. Remind yourself that today is a new day and you're starting from where you are each time you step on your mat. It's an opportunity to begin again, to start fresh, to empty and release the old, and to allow new energy to flow into the body. Now very slowly, lift the chest, walk your hands over towards the right, let your right ankle come in line with your right knee, and bring your hands up onto your hips. Gate pose. Left hand slides down the left leg, right arm reaches out to the side, turn the palm upwards, and maybe reach it up towards the ceiling. I like to take the hand to the shoulder and reach the elbow upwards, giving yourself a nice side bend. Turn your gaze down towards the left foot. That way you can see what's happening in the body. Turn your left toes forwards, engage the left leg, and feel the breath flowing into the right side of the body. Right lung, right kidney, right adrenal gland, the whole right side. Reach the arm up towards the ceiling, rise back up, bring the hands to the hips, and we'll lower down onto both knees. The left knee will come next to the right knee, untuck the toes, lower down for just a minute, turn the palms to face up, close the eyes. Give yourself a minute to feel the shifts and the changes. From here, you can bring your hands down and slide your legs around to the front. Bring your legs straight out in front and take the hands again under the flesh of the sitting bones and draw them back. Bring the hands down by the sides, fingers facing forwards. Press the inner thighs down, curl the toes back, and reach through the crown of the head. Float the arms up and overhead. And exhale, reach the arms forwards and slowly, slowly roll down onto your back. As you come down onto your back, bring your right knee into the chest and bring the hands behind the right hamstring. Interlace the fingers, press the right foot away from you as if you're going to press it into the wall in front of you, and start to straighten the right leg as much as you can, pressing down through the right hip and up through the right heel. Press the back of the head down into the ground. And then release, bring the right knee into the chest. Grab a hold right below the knee with the left hand. Right arm reaches out to the side for a very gentle twist. You can gaze your eyes towards your right hand. Feel the belly rising and falling. We'll come back to center. Release the right leg down. Left leg into the chest. Interlace the hands below the hamstring. Kick the left heel up towards the ceiling. Press the right inner thigh down. So over time, the leg will go straighter and straighter and straighter. It does not need to be straight to stretch. Relax the jaw. You can close the eyes here, but stay with your breath. The breath is what's going to help you deepen your practice, move away from the outside world. Pratyahara. And then release the hands, lower the knee into the chest. Right hand reaches across onto the shin bone and take it very gently across the body. You can take the left arm out to the side, turn the gaze over to the left. Couple of breaths. Might feel that this side is a little tighter. Breathe into your low back. If you feel any sharp pains at all, ease out of the pose a little bit. And then release out of the pose. Our arms will come down by our sides. Feet go wider than our hips. Turn your palms to face up. Now I'll link a long Savasana right here. So if you do have time, please try to do that. Otherwise, close your eyes for just a minute. Just feel your body resting now. Release your arms and your legs. As your eyes close, be still. Reminding yourself that you have nowhere else to go. This time is for you. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your wrist and your ankles. Take a big stretch. Inhale, breathe into the sides of your body. Roll onto your side. Take a breath. Set yourself an intention as you leave your mat. Take your breath with you as you move through your day, continuing to build peace and love in your body and mind. Push into the hands, feel the firmness of the earth beneath you, and rise up. You can cross the legs just as we began our practice. Ankles underneath the knees, hands on the thighs or the knees. Bring your hands to your heart space. Bow your head inwards. Thank yourself for your practice. Remind yourself to start with these small practices. Be patient with yourself as you grow your practice, and over time you'll make space for a 30-minute practice, 45 or a 60-minute practice. I wish you health, peace, and happiness. Namaste. Thank you for joining the practice today. If you'd like to support this channel and this yoga community, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.